Hi everyone and welcome to DIY Ideas. So today I'm showing you a crocheted winter hat, and you can see here how I folded it over, but you can skip on that and just wear it as an oversized beanie. So that's completely up to you. It's going to be a really simple project, and I'm doing this for a regular sized head. Of course, if you want something smaller or bigger, it's pretty easy to do. So you would just do a little bit or one row more or less here, but I'll show you that when we get there. Here, this section, as I said, can be folded over and can look really nice like this, or you can just wear it as an oversized beanie. So yeah, it's going to be easy to do even if you're a beginner. Feel free to check it out. So let's get started. Okay, so we have the Lion brand yarns here. Wool Ease, thick and quick is the name, and that's also what I'm going to do. I'm going to do this pretty quickly. You can see here the beige with the different colors combined. So we have kind of a thicker yarn, but it looks like it's out of two that were put together. I think it looks really nice. I'll show you the size as well. So 9mm hook. And if you want this color specifically, it's called Spice Market. And yeah, that's pretty much it. We have 80% acrylic, 20% wool, 140 grams or 5 ounces. Okay, so here is the beginning, and so now we want to make a slip knot like always, and I'm going to show you really slow in case you're a complete beginner, but if you already know how to do this, then it's even easier. There we go. So actually we're not finishing the slip knot. This is a magic ring, sorry. So yeah, we're doing 2 chains to start with into the ring, or where the ring starts. Then we're going to do 9 more trebles. The first one was actually to replace the first treble, which means we're actually doing 10 trebles in this first round. So when I said trebles, as you can see, I obviously meant half treble crochets. Okay, now we can pull on this beginning thread, and that way we can close up the ring and we can close up the circle here. So we're just going into this first, or actually this is the second chain from the top, or the top section of the replacement. And we're just doing a slip stitch there to connect and have a full circle. Then we have 2 for the height, and we're going right into the next spot, and we're again doing a half treble crochet. Into every next one we're going to do again 2 treble crochets, and that's how we're increasing the number and the size of our circle. After an entire round, I'm again here at the beginning, and you can already see the 2 color changes that we had. So yeah, we're again going to close the circle up with a slip stitch, and then we're going to do 2 chains for the height. So this time I'm not going into the same stitch again, so I'm not doing it doubled. Now in this round, I'm just going to do every other with an addition, which means that one gets just 1 half treble crochet, and then each next one, so every other one actually gets 2 half treble crochets. That way we keep the additions and the increasing number of stitches nice and neat. And we're going to go all around once again. Okay, here we are right now, so you can see the lovely colors and the size of it as well. So now what we want to do is again close it up with a slip stitch, and we're again doing 2 chains for the height. Now what we want to do is do 1 half treble crochet per each stitch that we see. And yeah, this way we are actually quitting with the increasing with the additions, because we are getting our hat shape slowly. And yeah, we're just going to close it up with a slip stitch here again, and that's it. So if you would like a little bit bigger size, you can of course do an extra row with additions in every third stitch that you have in that row. That way you're going to have it again neat and it's not going to look weird when you wear it later. But I think this size for me is actually going to be pretty good, so I'm going to keep it as it is. Yeah, so we're continuing in rounds now, and we're just doing half treble crochets just like so far. So you guys, you can now see the little wavy effect that we get. It's actually looking like a bowl at the moment, but this is what we get when we stop the additions. So now what we want to do and what we have is here the slip stitch to finish up this row or round actually, and then we're again going to do 2 chains for the height, and we're going to continue in the exact same manner as so far. So that way our hat is actually increasing in length because the width or the size of it is already done. So I'm going to do a little bit more and then I'll show you what I have. Okay, you guys, so you can see here the entire thing that we have. So I did a little bit of it and then I wanted to show you what I have. You could theoretically keep it here. So I'm going to show you the size that I did, and this would be a regular winter hat. So I have in centimeters about 22, 23. And yeah, of course, this would be a regular sized beanie or hat or whatever you want to call it, but we're actually going to make it bigger. So this is the oversized part of it. So for that, I do want to change my stitches and I'm doing trebles from here on. And I'll show you. So I'm going to close up this row, this one last round we did. And this time I'm doing 3 chains for the height. And then I'm going to do 1 entire round in trebles, which is a little bit different, but not that much. So it's through 2 and then through 2 again, and that way you have a treble. Don't forget the yarn over. And then the entire round should look like that. Okay, so now what we're gonna do is finish up this round, and then we're gonna do 2 chains for the height. And now the next round, we're gonna go in through the trebles, actually like this. So in behind them, and then we're gonna do the next set of trebles again. So this way they're a little bit deeper in here. I'm going to show you. So when you finish, you see this little pop out, I guess, or a little wavy section. So that's exactly what we want. And this way we basically get a little bit deeper set trebles, and that's why the 2 chains at the beginning were just enough. So I'm also changing, 1 is in the front and 1 is in the back, and I'm always changing if I'm going in front of the treble or in the back of it. I'll finish the entire round and then I'll show you what I have. Okay, you guys, so here you can see the effect that we have. So it's kind of like the ribbed pattern, but yeah, I think it looks really good. You can see here that it's a little bit tighter. And yeah, what I want to do now is just finish the entire ball that I have here, and then I'm going to keep doing the same thing all over again. So always the deeper stitches, and that way it's going to look really, really nice, and we're going to have a really lovely oversized beanie. So yeah, I'm going to show you the next section, and then we can finish up our hat. Okay, so here are the chains again, which means that we need to do our slip stitch now. Then we're doing 2 for the height. And we're going again into the trebles themselves, so a little bit deeper than what you usually do, and then 1 in the front, 1 in the back, and you keep changing between those 2. So you can see this effect from the inside as well as from the outside. Okay, you guys, so you can see here the 3 rounds I did in the trebles and the deeper trebles. And yeah, I think this is going to be good, but you can, of course, do this for as long as you want or for as much wool or yarn that you have. So yeah, either way, I'm going to finish it up here and I'm going to show you how to do that. Okay, so I want this pretty V pattern on the outside, so the V looking edge. And for that, I'm just doing slip stitches all around basically. So that's how you get this lovely effect. Okay, so here you can see the edge, exactly what I wanted. Then we can pull out the, or actually shorten, and then pull out the leftover thread. You can do a little bit more with the leftovers, but not much. And yeah, we're gonna tighten this a little bit to keep it in place. And now I'm gonna weave it in, and I'm actually gonna do that so that I can hide where it was. So I'm actually gonna, fix this. And then I'm gonna go through here and then right back. You can do this with a darning needle if that's easier for you, but this time with crocheting, I think it actually works with the hook itself. So yeah, all that we have to do now is weave the rest of this in, and then the beginning as well from the magic ring, and that's pretty much it. So you see how quick this was. You can do this in a matter of 10 minutes or maybe a little bit more if you're a beginner, but either way, it's a really simple project. I think it looks really good. You can wear it as it is. You can see the different style at the end here, the rim that kind of looks a little bit like a ribbed pattern or a fake ribbed pattern. But yeah, you can wear it as an oversized beanie, as I said, or you can just fold it over and have it as a regular winter hat. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Feel free to shoot a thumbs up if you like this. You can also click on the subscribe button if you would like to see more of our future videos. So yeah, thanks for watching DIY Ideas. I hope to see you in our next project, and until then, I wish you a wonderful day. Bye! Hi everyone, welcome to DIY Ideas. I hope you guys are ready for our new project. We're doing a winter hat together with our 12mm needle and with a puff on top as well with a pom-pom. So if you want to do this as well, stay tuned. So I'll start with wool and the gang. It's called Crazy Sexy Wool, and we have 100% wool made in Peru, and the recommended needle size is 12. And if you want this exact color, it's called Magic Mint. So I'll be using my 12mm needle as well. So for that, we need a magic ring as a start. There we go, so let's do the magic ring. So do a loop around your 2 fingers and pull the thread through. Now with this 1 loop on our needle, we do 2 more chains. And now we do half trebles. So yarn over the needle, through, and take the thread, close up all 3 loops. And let's do this a couple more times. I'll do a total of 9 half trebles. 4, 8 and 9, I just wanted to check, so let's pull our ring tight and close it up with a slip stitch. And that's my round number 1. Let's do 2 chains for the height, and we will then do a half treble directly there. and I'll do additions in the rest of the round. So I'll do 2 half trebles per each stitch of the last row. So here I am with my second round here, so I have 20 stitches, and now I'll again close it up with a slip stitch. So now we are doing our next round, so we need 2 for the height. And do a half treble right here. And the first stitch we don't do with an addition, but from here on we do additions into every second stitch. So one has the addition and one doesn't. I'll finish the round. So 30 stitches now. Let's measure what we have. I have 17 centimeters. I think this is good. I'll show you how I got the number, but it's actually super easy. So you need your head circumference divided by number pi, and you get the radius that you need for your hat or your hat bases. In my case, it's 17 centimeters, so that means that I can continue without additions from here on. So it's 1 half treble per each half treble of the last row. I'll take this apart. It's a bit too big. So I'll finish the whole round and do a slip stitch then. So all around, and I'll see you after. So I did one more row, and you can already notice that it kind of forms a basket shape. So it's slowly turning into a hat, and we have a nice thick wool that makes this possible right after one row. So anyway, let's do a couple more rows the same way. I'm at the end, and now I'll do a slip stitch to finish this row. So let's measure. So this is about 21 centimeters tall or long, and let's see the width. About 25 to 26 centimeters. So I'll do an end row now, and that's going to be super simple. So we are doing just slip stitches. That way we also don't gain on height or length anymore, and you can even notice here in this section how we're kind of straightening or emphasizing the edge nicely, so it's going to be like that all over. So I'm now here, and here is the end thread. We'll shorten and pull out. Go through this stitch, pull the thread through, and then one more time this way to hide it and make it look like all of the other slip stitches. This is a really cool trick to hide the beginning and the end. You can later just weave it in. And that's it. The beginning thread is also going to be weaved in later, and that's our hat. All that we need is our pom-pom, and for that we have this little bit of leftover wool. So I'll use this little tool, and I did a couple of videos that you can find on my channel if you want to see a basics video on how to use it. I weighed the hat and I have about 60 grams of this wool left over for the pom-pom, just for reference. And we had a total of 200 grams and the hat took about 140. So let's start. So this was the first step. Now close it and we can just go with our scissors through the middle and cut. Another thread to tie it together, the two halves. A regular knot, open up, take apart, and there we are. Here it is, so let's now connect it to our hat. So take the thread that you have from the pom-pom and push it through the middle hole or the ring that we started with and tie a knot on the inside. And weave in. And our hat is done. I hope you guys enjoyed. Feel free to let me know in the comment section what you think and if you tried it out yourself. And I hope to see you in our next video. So until then, shoot a thumbs up, subscribe, share, and I'll see you in our next project. Bye! Hi everyone, welcome to DIY Ideas. Today I have the off the hook wool, and this time from the Lion brand. So if you don't know this material, it's basically wool shaped in little loops that you see all over here. So basically the idea is that you don't need any tools apart from your hands and your fingers, which you can even see on the label. So no other tools, and you get one hat, 2 scarves, or 1 baby blanket, depending on what you want. And I want to do a winter hat this time. So apart from that, we have 3.5 ounces or 100 grams, and it's 100% polyester. And it's also a really cool neon pink. So apart from that, it has a thickness of about 7 here, as indicated. So yeah, let's get started. So if we do a hat, then we need our head circumference. So I'll start from the bottom and go to the top as I work. So you see here my measuring tape, and for my head, I need about 50 centimeters of circumference. I'll mark with a marker. A safety pin would work as well. So now we will do the stitches that we have here till we again reach the mark. So you also make sure that you have a pretty even number of loops, because that way your lessenings are easier later on when we get to that. 1, 2, 3. 26. Great. So when you're satisfied, you can take your marker out. And here I'll take the 27th loop, so one more than what I needed, and I'll go through my first one.
So we get a little round now. So let's now get started. Here, take the loops and push the one through the other. Five here. Pull tight and do the whole round this way. And here you see what we get as a result. So now we basically continue the same way. Here is the first loop I did, so from here I continue just like I did in the last row. You can see the pattern nicely, and you see how fast this goes. Now I'll do about 20 centimeters of height in this manner. So here is my update now. Here is what I have for now. I didn't count the rows at all. They don't really matter a whole lot this time. So what matters is that we have 20 centimeters of length now, or of height. So we can now start with lessening the stitches, and I'm here at the end of my round. Here was the beginning. So we are now here on the top at the same spot. So now you need to take 2 loops at a time, align them, and take a 3rd loop and pull through. So that's how I do 2 loops as one and lessen already. I'll mark the beginning so that it's easier to follow. So if you take a closer look, you can directly see the lessened stitch, or the 3 that acted as 2 loops. So now just do the same throughout the whole row. It's pretty simple, right? So continue till you get to your mark. So I'm here again. Here is the marker. So that's where the first lessened stitch is, and you see how much tighter this is now? So from the side, it's a lot more obvious, so it comes together very nicely. And now we will continue. We need another row that's also gonna be with the lessened stitches. So here we are. Now it's a lot tighter already. I pulled one through here, and this would have been the next loop, but now I'll take my scissors and cut this loop off, since I really need just the band, and I'll cut the following couple of loops off as well. There we go, maybe a couple more. But we can get started by just going through all the loops with the thread and pull tight. Last one. Pull tight, and we can now push this to the edge. Pull tight and then weave the end in from the inside to hide it kind of a bit. Maybe a little knot too to secure it. And the marker can come out now. And this is now all pulled together. And our project is done. And you see that it's super easy to do, which is why this kind of material and wool is great for beginners as well. You secure here on top and you're basically set to go. You can already wear your hat and yeah, it's a whole done project in almost no time. Feel free to test what size or what tightness you personally like. I do like when it's a bit looser when you wear it than a bit tighter because you can notice that it's not really a whole lot stretchy this way. So you need to try this out while you work at it or just take it apart and then try again, depending on what you prefer. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed. Feel free to shoot me a thumbs up if you did, and feel free to comment as well if you have any feedback to share. Apart from that, you can always subscribe to the channel and that way stay always updated. So thanks for watching. See you next time. Have a great day. Bye!
Hello everyone, welcome to DIY Ideas. So today we have an awesome project we're going to do together. So I'm going to show you how you can make a really cool black and white bobble cap. So I started here on top and then I've done it from side to side, so in rows this time. So that's how we get this awesome looking pattern in black and white today. So the whole thing is really easy to make. And yeah, including the pom-pom on top, I'm going to show you how to do this as well. So that hides the beginning where we started at. So yeah, you can even vary the size of the hat or how tightly the pom-pom is or how closely it is to your head simply by working with this overlap part. So that means that you can simply stretch it out and make a longer hat that hangs in the back. So awesome for longer hair if you want to keep it inside your hat if it's really cold, or you can also overlap it and make it smaller and that way closer to your head. So if you want to see how you can make this all by yourself in almost no time, stay tuned. So let's start. I'm using Lion brand yarns today. So this is called the Scarfie. It's originally meant for scarves. So the name says it. And it says here one ball makes one scarf, but we will make a bobble cap this time. So I have my measuring tape and my 6mm needle, and we can start already. So let me show you the details really quickly. It's 150 grams per 285 meters. Then we have 78% acrylic, 22% wool, and as I mentioned, I will be doing it with the needle size 6mm, which I have right here. And yeah, we can take the beginning thread and start. So it's called cream black if you want to find this exact type and color. So yeah, we have a very light gray or beige color and then it gets gradually darker. So let's start with some chains. I will do between 35 and 40 centimeters depending on how long you want the overlapping part at the bottom of your hat. So make sure you do it as long or as short as you want to get that. So you see that it starts with black and ends with black too. So this is about 26 centimeters, so we need some more chains. So this is now 38 centimeters and it's what I have had planned for today, but feel free to make it longer or shorter. So this was completely up to me and you can of course adjust the length as you like. So let's go back now. We need 2 chains for the height and go into the third from the back. And then you can do a half treble or half treble crochets all the way through. I'm at the beginning. I hope you can see the first row well. So we have our first half treble row. And now we will again take 2 chains for the height and turn. Now we won't go here on top into the V-shaped parts, but into another spot. So on the side behind the V, and I hope you guys can see it well. And we are still doing half trebles. I'll do a bit more and I'll show you what I have after a while. So here is our second row. You can now see that this V part is kind of standing out, so it makes a really pretty effect, almost like stripes. So let's now keep going. We can start our new row. So you see the white threads, they are going to make things a bit easier because you can now see better where you need to go through. So yeah, we can now continue. So basically just go through the front part here after taking 2 chains for the height, of course. So I will do as many rows as I need to get the width that I want, so about 52 or 53 centimeters. So here we are after some rows. You can see the pretty V stripes that stand out just a bit. And we will now measure this. But before we do that, I just wanted to tell you, please do notice how awesome the color gradient is. So I'm really loving this black and white effect we are getting. So anyway, let's get this measured. You can of course use a ruler, but I always think the measuring tape is a bit easier since it's flexible. So let's see, we've got a bit over 50 centimeters. So this is better than having it too long or too wide, because it can stretch anyway if it's too small, but if it's too big, you can't really make it smaller. Okay, so I messed this up a bit, so let's fix it. This row is also done. We can now connect the sides to get a loop shape to start our hat with, but I guess we could also use it as a loop scarf. Well, this is pretty awesome right now. And connect both sides. So you can see how thick this really is. So I'm at the other side and we can now close up. So I didn't cut the thread off just yet. We need a bit still, but you can cut it off. So see how much I actually left to still work with. So we won't need this long, but we do need a bit. So let's now pull this through. So we want to close this up, and then we have our needle for weaving threads in to help with that. We are going through all of our trebles and chains. There we are, so we closed up the hole and I'll secure it just a bit. So here the color gradient, white in the middle and black around it. So this is what the hat looks like right now. The top we will cover with a bobble. So we will make that out of the leftover wool. So you know, the little bit we had left over. And yeah, apart from that we are done. The long end thread we will use to connect the bobble with the hat. So I'm still not cutting it off or weaving it in. I will be using a bobble maker today, but you can simply use some cardboard too, so I have a video for that too on my channel. And here is the little mini pom-pom or bobble. So we have a black side and one grayish side. And let's cut just a bit more to make it look pretty. And now we will connect it from the inside. So we need the end thread inside. We don't need it this long, so let's now pull the end thread of the bobble inside as well. So here we are. It's all hidden inside, but our cap is done, and I hope you guys like the way this looks right now. So yeah, this end thread we will weave in, and there is one on the bottom that needs hiding too, as well as one left over on the rim of the hat, but that's not too bad. So you can always overlap this end part to make it longer or shorter, or yeah, just to match your own style for the day. So it's really cool because you can adjust it and you can have pretty much a different hat every day. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed the project. Let me know what you think. The comment section is open, so you can also post any questions or maybe wishes for future projects that you might have. Apart from that, feel free to subscribe to the channel. That way you can always stay updated with everything new that we post, and you also get access to our older videos we already posted if you're looking for some extra inspiration. Apart from that, you can always shoot a thumbs up to let us know we're doing a good job. And yeah, thanks for watching. I'll see you in our next project. Until then, have a wonderful day. Bye!
Hi everyone, welcome to DIY Ideas. So today I'm going to show you how you can knit your own winter hat. Mostly in knit stitches. We have a couple of purl stitches at the beginning. And yeah, you can see the needles here. I used a round needle at first to get started, about 40 centimeters of length. And then after that, I used the regular ones, so I'll show you that as well when we get there. So yeah, apart from that, you're gonna need a darning needle or something to weave in, and I'll show you the wool in a second. Okay, so we have here the glow worm hen print, and we have 100 grams here and 7 to 8 millimeter hooks or needles, and then 100 grams and 110 meters, and let's see here, 54% acrylic, 30% wool, and 16% glass fiber. So in this case, the glass fiber is actually the thread that kind of glitters and glows in the dark, so it looks really good in the end. And yeah, let's get started right away. So I'm gonna start with my line on my 2 knitting needles. So I have here my 6 millimeter needles, and then this one, the line has about 45 centimeters of length. I'll start with 72 stitches. Three. I'll be back at 72. Okay, so here are all of my stitches, and now on my right needle, you're gonna see the working thread, and we're gonna start right away. So I'll be doing today 1 knit stitch, or actually 2 knit stitches and 2 purl stitches, one after the other. That way we're gonna get a nice ribbed effect later, you're gonna see. So we're doing 2 purls and 2 knits. And don't worry if the first row is a little bit challenging, that's probably the most difficult part. Okay, so now you know how to continue, and I finished the entire first round, but I am gonna do this for a couple more times just to get the lovely effect. So we're always doing 2 knits, 2 purls, and then we're just doing whole rounds. Onto the knit stitches go again knit stitches, onto the purls go new purls. Okay, so this is what we have when we do knits on top of knits and purls on top of purls. And now, as you can see, I marked this beginning here. And yeah, I really like this marker, but of course you can use whatever you have at home already. Okay, so we have the mark in there, and it's there to stay. And now I'm gonna do a row without the purls. So I'm just gonna do the knit stitches. And I'm keeping the marker inside, so I'm making sure it stays there. And this one is super easy because all you're gonna do is just knit stitches. So on top of knit stitches, you do knit stitches. On top of purl stitches, you again do knit stitches. Super easy. And I'll do this for a couple of rows and then I'll show you what I have, but you can notice that pretty quickly. But I'll show you what that looks like and then I'll show you how to continue from there on. So here's the little update. I have here 1, 2, 3, 4 rows total, or rounds. And yeah, you can see here the little bit different effect. So we don't have the ribs anymore. You can see those here on the bottom in the pink and the orange. And yeah, you see kind of the back side of it and then the front side of it. So yeah, that's what I mean with ribs. And then on top, we're just kind of leveling that so it's a little bit different now. And yeah, you can see already after a couple of rows more, you're going to be able to see it even better, but you can see the difference already even in the color in my case. Yeah, so this is just a little update. I'm going to show you the whole thing and then I'll show you what it looks like. Okay, you guys, so this is about 20 rows total. So let's measure the length. Okay, about 16 centimeters. So now we're going to start with the reductions for the top section of the hat. So I'm again where my marker is. And now what I want to do, so since I have 9 times 8 stitches in the beginning, so I need something that's divisible by 8 and I had 72. So now I'm counting 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6, and 7 and 8 we're going to do together. So that's how we're going to keep reducing. So these two I'm just going to do as if they were just one stitch. There we go. So you saw how easy that was, and now we're again going to count the 6 regular ones. So 6 regular ones, and then you do the 6 or the 7 and the 8 together. Yeah, so these are gonna keep moving upwards, the reductions, and then I'll show you what I have. Okay, so we're now at the next row. So we're gonna do this by doing 6 stitches regular, and then we're gonna again reduce. Okay, so I'm at the marker again, and now I'm gonna move it upwards again just to keep everything really clear and simple. And yeah, in the next row, I'm actually just gonna do regular knit stitches. So I'm not gonna do without reduction so that we have a nice and even section. So that way the rounding section is going to be really nice and it's going to look neat. Okay, you guys, so now I'm in the next round. So yeah, this is now the next reduction round. So I'm gonna do 5 regular ones, and then the 6th and the 7th I'm gonna do together as one. Okay, so here is number 6, and 6 and 7 we're doing together. So now we're going to do another row or round, I keep saying rows, another round that's gonna have no reductions at all. So it's gonna be just 1 stitch per every stitch you see. And then in the next round, we're again gonna reduce. So that way we get a really nice rounded section, just like I said. So 1 reduction, 1 regular, 1 reduction, 1 regular round, and that's all we need to do. So yeah, I have here 3 and I need 4 and 5, and then number 6 and 7 we're gonna do together. Okay, you guys, so here we are after 2 more rounds. So I have now a total of 2 reduction rows or rounds, and now we're gonna do just the reduction. So we're not gonna do the rows or rounds without reductions. So now we're doing 4 stitches as usual, and then numbers 5 and 6 we're gonna do together. And the cool thing is you can actually see where the reduction section is kind of forming. So you can see it here kind of a little bit bulkier than the rest. And yeah, that's again where we're gonna go in and do them together. So now in the next round, I'm probably going to switch to regular needles because it's going to be much easier, but we'll see when we get there. Okay, so now after this entire round, I'm going to switch to the needles, so the ones without the line. So yeah, I have 5 pieces total, and now I'm going to basically just put an even number or the exact same number of stitches onto each of these 5 needles. So after this round, I finished the entire thing, and you can see the marker on here, and this entire round is done. So yeah, now what we want to do is count our stitches, and I'm actually going to have here the 36, so I do want 9 stitches per my needle. 1, 2, and 3, and now we're going to reduce right there because that's where we're at. And then one more time we're going to count 3 and 4th and 5th we're going to do together. And one more time, 1 more stitch, and then I have the 9 stitches on here. So we're moving on to the next section, and we need another needle for that. And now here, you just need to remember that you already have the extra one on the last needle. So here we have just the 1 stitch, and then right there, the reduction. And then we're again doing the 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 are going to go together. Or actually, no, 3 is going to be separate, and then 4 and 5 are going to go together. I'm a little bit ahead of where I'm at. So yeah. So you can always count. We have 7 loops on our needle, 7 stitches, and now we need 2 more for the 9. And now we can continue with the next needle. So here we're doing just the 1 and then right away the reduction. And you can pretty much see where you need to do that already. So that's also a really good sign. So we have the 1 and then the reduction because of the last needle, and it has a section of that there already. So we're again, as always in this round, doing the 3 and then numbers 4 and 5 together, regardless of where they are on which needle. So for now we have 6, we need 3 more. Okay, that was 9, and now I'm going to start here right away with the reduction because that's where we're at. And that's our last needle, so when I'm done with that one, I'll be back. Okay, you guys, so you can see here all of the 36 needles we have on our 4 needles plus the working needle, of course. So I moved away the needles with the line, of course. We don't need that anymore, but we can get started with the next part of this project. So we're doing just knit stitches here with our working needle. We start where our marker is, just like always, and we're doing the 2 stitches as always, and then the 3rd and 4th are going to be reduced. And you're going to see you're going to need a lot less time for these last couple of rows that we have on top. We have now the last stitch on our needle, and then we're done with that one, and we can continue with the next one. Same thing again. First round is done, and you can see here we have now, you can even count on your hat, we have 27 total, 27 stitches, and then later we're going to have 18 and 9 left, and I'm going to do that really quick and show you. So we have just the 3 left over, and then 2, 2, and 2. And now you can see, if you take a closer look, where our reductions were. So now we're going to shorten the thread because we don't need a lot of that. And now we're going to take our darning needle or whatever you want to use for weaving in. And now we're just going to go through each of the stitches on the needle, and then you can pull the needle right out as you go in. Just make sure you don't skip any. There we go through, all needles out, and then just pull it real tight. There we go. So now we just need to weave it in at the end, and that way we're already done. So you can see the color changes in here and the kind of striped effect. You can also see the start. So it was, I'll show you all of the colors. So we had the pink and the orange here on the bottom, some gray, some lighter gray, and then again orange, pink, and the orange at the end. So that's the shape that we have. Stripes today. You can see how big this is. The wool is really good to work with, and yeah, you can see how warm this is, so it's definitely going to keep your head warm in these cold days. So yeah, I have just the two threads to weave in, the ending and the beginning, and that's pretty much it. So it's a really fast project, and I'll just move the camera a little bit away so that you can see the whole thing. So I hope you guys enjoyed. Feel free to shoot a thumbs up if you did. You can also let us know in the comment section what you think and what you would like us to do next time. And yeah, thanks for watching DIY Ideas. See you next time. Bye!